It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBSports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
Good evening. Welcome to War Memorial Field on the campus of Central Bucks West High School, the home of the Bucks, as we get you ready for some high school football tonight on the WBCB Sports Network. It's the McCaffrey's game of the night as the Pennsbury Falcons have traveled to Doylestown looking for their first win of the season and set to do battle with the 4-2 CB West Bucks. Tonight's game on WBCB is brought to you by Team Toyota, St. Mary Medical Center, McCaffrey's Food Markets. This is the McCaffrey's game of the night. Thanks to the Revere Restaurant, Jennifer Shorn for DA, 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, Rob's Automotive and Collision powering portions of tonight's game, BCWSA, the Peruzzi Automotive Group, Fred Herron for Sheriff, PNC Bank. Thanks to Galaxy Landscaping, the Trentonian. This is the Trentonian pregame show. Kickoff coming up in just a moment, and before we get to that, we've got the Central Bucks West Marching Band taking the field and getting set to perform, so we'll go to that in just a moment. Big thanks to the Trentonian for making portions of tonight's game possible with 9th Street on Main, Yardley Family Haircutters, Yardley Pharmacy and Supply, Haldeman Ford, BAI Security, PAI District 1, Charcoal BYOB, Kramer's Bakery, Jammer Doors, along with the Berg Pizza. We're talking about Di Lorenzo's right down the street from Pennsbury High School. Thanks to the Pennsbury Football Parents Club, we will be back home next week at Falcon Field after this extended road trip for the Falcons. This is week 3 on the road for Pennsbury, taking on CB East, CB South, and now tonight, CB West. And next week, back at home to meet with the Knights of North Penn before traveling to Abington, and then they will host Neshaminy to wrap up the regular season. So not a lot of games left for the Falcons to take advantage of, and a tough matchup tonight against a CB West team that fell to Neshaminy. So looking to bounce back into the win column. They lost to the Skins 28-18 last week, so maybe a little more motivation for the Bucks to get after it tonight, as they still have an opportunity maybe to try to win a chance, a portion of the SOL League title, and working on positioning themselves for postseason play. All right, CB West Marching Band down there on the field. Pennsbury Falcons led by Jack Arndt at quarterback. For the Bucks, it's junior Louis Cipolla, kind of a two-way threat, will run the football. He picked up 100 yards on the ground last week against Neshaminy in the loss, had a couple of touchdowns. He went 13 carries for 102 in last week's game. All right, looks like the Bucks are ready to perform. And so we turn to the field on a Friday night under the lights here in Doylestown. All right, now let's get to some football on a Friday night under the lights after a terrific pregame performance by the Central Bucks West marching band as the Pennsbury Falcons travel to Doylestown tonight and looking to get their first win of the season. Meanwhile, Central Bucks West, 4 wins and 2 losses. Their second loss coming last week to Neshaminy. Again, Louis Sapolo with the only 2 touchdowns last week for this Central Bucks West Bucks team. The only scoring coming from Pennsbury last week was a field goal, Ben, off the foot of Angelo Pereira. He was our guest on Wednesday at our high school coaches roundtable show. He was with you after the game as our DiLorenzo's player of the game finally gets an opportunity to connect from 27 yards. Everything was great, the snap, the hold, but the Falcons just need to get more offense to give him some more opportunity. Maybe some extra points tonight would be great.
Yeah, something to get him kicking some balls to the upright. It was good to see him finally knock one through for his first field goal of the year last week. And yeah, I mean, it would be great to see him a little bit more, but that requires the offense to get the job done. And Falcons haven't gotten that at all this season, and hoping to get some of that here tonight, but it's going to be a tough task against these CB West Bucks.
And we mentioned Sapolo, a junior leading Central Bucks West, had a decent game last week against Neshaminy. Came up with some big plays, but not enough to get them past the Redskins. For Pennsbury, Gus, it's been some different faces taking snaps as the signal caller for Pennsbury, Jack Arndt. We had David Kane in there, and then last week even saw Nate Ketchum come in a little bit, but it seems like they're settling into Jack Arndt, and I think they need to stick with the sophomore to try to build him up and develop him for the next couple of years and, look to the future with a quarterback who's been throwing a decent, he throws a decent pass, hasn't been getting a lot of protection.
Yeah, you can pretty much just call us New York doormen because we've just been seeing a revolving door of these quarterbacks in and out, one after the other. Just throw him in, see what he likes, throw the next one in. Now we've even seen a third one last week, like you said. It's been interesting. It hasn't been, something that probably the offense doesn't want to do. Obviously, you'd like to have some cohesion, some people that have, the experience and keeps going in and out.
Right.
It's not going to help them. So we've seen literally like a revolving door for this offense with the quarterback position. So hopefully tonight they can find some stability there and get a good play from that position because that'll help this offense a lot.
Yeah, and another blow to the Falcons came earlier this season when they lost their bell cow running back, Jordan Brensinger, suffered an injury and has not been able to return to the field. So stepping up for Pennsbury has been Caden Brown. We expected him to be at fullback, and now they have to mix him into some different positions. And we've seen McCardle get a bunch of carries, and he's been coming on as this season has progressed. But those two guys now are Pennsbury leaning on them. When it comes to ground and pound, it's been Brown and McCardle trying to make that happen for this Pennsbury team, Ben. And they, too, need a little, talking about the quarterback needing protection, those running backs need some more space, open up some holes for those guys.
Yeah, got to get some room to run, and when you don't have that, you're going to look at the Pennsbury offense over the last couple of weeks, just not getting those holes and those blocking from their offensive line, and Pennsbury's going to need that if they want to break open one big run. We haven't had a big run all season. Didn't really see any from Brent Singer earlier in the year, and we haven't gotten one since then. So Falcons, they need some sort of explosion, and it would be great to get that tonight.
All right, big issue last week for Central Bucks West, turnovers against Neshaminy, and maybe that ended up in part being their undoing against the Redskins. Well, the Pennsbury Falcons have had their fair share of turnovers, Gus, and if they want to come up with a win tonight, they have to win the turnover differential, and this defense, which has played pretty well, they're going to need to come up with some big plays, some turning points with, force a fumble, get an interception, and help to get a little momentum on that far sideline.
And we've seen that a little bit in the last couple of weeks with this Pennsbury defense. They have been able to generate some turnovers, have some big plays, get some crucial stops, but the offense hasn't been able to pick up that momentum. And, in high school, that's all high school football is. It's a game of momentum. Whoever has the momentum has a really good shot of taking the lead, winning the game, having success. And the Falcons just have not been able to capitalize on their momentum. And it's not like they haven't had any. The defense has been showing up and helping them out. The offense has just been the big question mark for this team.
Yeah, and talking about momentum, the other thing that is really important for Pennsbury to do is have complementary football. When the defense makes a big play and gives the offense a short field, they need them to capitalize, make something out of that situation. And, we got a Friday night under the lights. It's the McCaffrey's game of the night as the Pennsbury Falcons take the field. CB West, they started the season with a loss to Easton and then ripped off 4 wins, defeating Upper Dublin, Souderton, Abington, and CB South before last week's loss to Neshaminy. Meanwhile, for Pennsbury, it has been a struggle, unable to score at all a couple of weeks ago, and last week just a field goal up to CB South. So they need to get the offense going as the CB West Bucks are set to take the field. Tonight's game on WBCB brought to you by Senator Steve Sanacero, proudly serving the 10th Senatorial District and proudly supporting today's football game as a public service to the community. And here they are, the CB West Bucks. 4 wins and 2 losses on the season. And tonight they host the winless Pennsbury Falcons, looking to turn things around and get a good finish to this season. Again, thanks to Senator Sanacero for powering portions of tonight's game. And Senator Sanacero hopes you enjoy the game. You can contact Steve's office at senatorsanacero.com. That's senatorsanacero.com. And don't forget, if you miss any of tonight's action, read about it in tomorrow's Trentonian. Outstanding local and national sports coverage that you can count on 7 days a week. It's all in the pages of the Trentonian. All right, coming back for kickoff here from War Memorial Field, the home of the CB West Bucks, as they host the Pennsbury Falcons tonight on WBCB.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
When it comes to plumbing, there's only one trusted name for your home or business. That's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Whether it's drains, water heaters, faucets, or sewers, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown can solve all of your plumbing problems. Time-tested and punctual since 1984. It's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Call them at 215-943-1776. That's 215-943-1776 for Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, a proud supporter of high school athletics in Bucks County.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Fred Herron. As your Bucks County Sheriff, it's my job to uphold the law and keep our community safe. That's what I've done every day for nearly 40 years in law enforcement. From the streets of Bensalem to the county courthouse, my focus has been on making our families feel secure in their homes, neighborhoods, and our schools. Safety requires proven leadership because in this office, experience is everything. This November, vote for our team so we can continue providing dependable leadership for our community. I'm your Sheriff, Fred Herron, and I approve this message.
Proceeding paid for by Herron for Sheriff.
Welcome back to Central Bucks West High School for high school football on the WBCB Sports Network. Captain's about to head to midfield for the coin flip. Ciola, Beatty, McCartney, O'Brien for the Pennsbury Falcons. And representing the Bucks tonight, Daniel Mills with Aiden Lapsley and Jeff Kappa. A beautiful turf field here in Doylestown, but always a great time to get your lawn looking out of this world with Galaxy Landscaping. And we thank Galaxy Landscaping for helping to make portions of tonight's game possible. You can call Pennsbury alumni Matt and Sean to book Galaxy Landscaping for all of your lawn care needs. All right, CB West winning the coin flip, and they will defer to the second half. So it will be Falcons to get the football first tonight. And again, thanks to Galaxy Landscaping. Call them, and you can book Matt and Sean. Take care of mulch installation, trimming and pruning. They do it all. Take care of your home's landscape. 267-842-5299. 267-842-5299. We thank Galaxy Landscaping and all of our community partners helping to make Pennsbury Falcon football possible here on the WBCB Sports Network. Chris Ermer with Ben Goldstein, Gus the Bus Barber, and Justin Lawrence here as we got kickoff coming up in just moments. Big thanks to Yardley Family Haircutters, a full-service family barbershop, kids cuts, hair coloring, and shaves. Dave Wells and his family been part of the community for over 50 years, and Yardley Family Haircutters, a town institution. For an appointment, you can call 215-321-6900. Again, call for the appointment at 215-321-6900. Yardley Family Haircutters. All right, doing the kicking, Junior Mason Darrows back deep for the Pennsbury Falcons. Luke Bagley and Sean Beatty set to receive.
Well, here's a shot for this Pennsbury team. Offensively, they've just been in a rut the whole season. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. They have just not looked great all season. And this is the shot for them to get off to a quick start and try to get the momentum early against a really good team.
Set a tone.
Absolutely.
Here against CB West.
And even the last couple weeks, the offense hasn't looked great, but out of the last 3 or 4 weeks, ever since Jordan Brensinger has been out, last week probably has been the best the offense has looked in a while. So they were able to move the ball. They were able to get multiple first downs, get deep into the red zone, and advance the ball. So if they can just pick something out of the book of last week, they should have some success offensively, but only time will tell, Chris.
And talking about that complementary football concept, how about a little special teams magic to get things started, to set a tone, as Darrows has it teed up. Got the whistle, and the junior approaches, kicks it away. Deep and right down the middle into the end zone, and it's a touchback. So a good deep kickoff will put the Pennsbury Falcons at their own 20-yard line to start the first drive of the night. McCaffrey's game of the night here on WBCB.
Two offenses for the CB West and Pennsbury Falcons where both teams like to establish the run and run the ball. So you may see a lot of long drives, a lot of self-sustaining drives, but you look at these defenses, they're two defenses that have not thrived well against the run, but haven't been susceptible to the run either. So it's going to be an interesting matchup for both offense and defense for both of these squads.
Yeah, a run-first approach for both teams. Of course, for the Pennsbury Falcons, they try to ground and pound as Ciola moves over across the formation, and they give to Randolph on the jet sweep, tries to get to the edge, turns it upfield for a couple of yards, tripped up on the play by junior Owen Pudlow. Brings up a 2nd and 7.
And this is something you're starting to see a little bit more, too, from this Pennsbury offense. Traditionally, earlier in the season, you saw a lot of two backers behind the quarterback, both men in motion. Who are they going to hand it off to? Now you've seen a lot of one running back sets with a man in motion coming from the wide receiver. And is it either a handoff to him or is it a handoff to the running back? You're seeing a lot more of that instead of the two running backs in the motion.
And right there, that play whistled dead, and a timeout, early timeout taken by CB West.
Wow.
Pennsbury kind of showing them, I think, something that they had not seen on film. And so they talk it over here with 11:19 to go, just underway in the first quarter. PIAA District 1 looking for officials for all sports. And if you're interested, visit PIAA.org for more info. Again, that's PIAA.org if you're interested in becoming an official. PIAA District 1 wishing all student athletes the best of luck on the field and in the classroom. And the Pennsbury Football Parents Club inviting you to check out the all-new concession stands at the Pennsbury home games. We're back at home next week. The Falcons host North Penn.
Finally, back at Falcon Field.
And also check out all that new Pennsbury apparel. On 2nd and 7, it's a throw complete to Beatty. Makes one man miss across the 30 to the 35-yard line. Picks up a Pennsbury Falcon first down. Nice little move there by Beatty. Good connection with quarterback Jack Arndt. Nice accurate pass.
Yeah, a bunch of yards after the reception as well. 15-yard play for Pennsbury.
Little shake and bake gets him up to the 35-yard line.
PA announcer just called Pennsbury into Chamonix. So we're gonna have to get that fixed over there.
Hey, we're neighbors. I know we're right down the street from each other, but
it's insulting to call Pennsbury into Chamonix.
All right, now on 1st and 10, the Falcons take an early timeout. So they talk things over with 10:41 to go here in the first quarter. Still no score. We're just underway.
When have you ever seen both teams take a timeout 2 minutes into, not even 2 minutes into the game? This is the first. I guess both teams, having to talk things over.
Yeah, maybe seeing something that they were not expecting. And so an early timeout gets everybody on the same page. Tonight's game on WBCB brought to you by Haldeman Ford on Route 33 in Hamilton Township, 20 minutes from Langhorne. It's a better Ford car and truck buying experience. And more selection, better pricing on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, and award-winning service. Haldeman Ford, Route 33, Hamilton Township. 1st and 10 from their own 35. Again, two guys go in motion. And the give to McCardle. They run to the strong side and work their way up to the 40. But an injured player and an injury timeout as one of the Bucks shaken up on the play. So we're going to step aside, return here to Central Bucks West in just a moment for more high school football. It's the McCaffrey's Game of the Night.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I have stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us, delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County. Our families, our safety, our home.
McCaffrey McCaffrey's Express makes grocery shopping easy. McCaffrey's now offers online shopping, curbside pickup, or delivery. You get the same in-store prices and no third-party markup. Products are chosen by McCaffrey's own trained staff. Text messages are even accepted for order changes. Shop your way at McCaffrey's Food Markets, online or the app, and earn awards and use digital coupons. McCaffrey's Food Markets in the Edgewood Village Shopping Center, 635 Heacock Road, Yardley. Also in Newtown, New Hope, Doylestown, Princeton, and West Windsor.
The Peruzzi Automotive Group. No matter where you purchased your car, take it to a local Peruzzi dealership service department for the best deals on tires. Buy 3, get the 4th free. All makes and models. Name brand tires. The Peruzzi Automotive dealerships on Route 1 in Fairless Hills, where our business is you.
Michael Forte, the injured CB West Bucks player, as on second down, movement up front. Looked like the Bucks came across the line of scrimmage. They did. Offside is the call.
We've seen everything so far early in this game.
So makes it 2nd and 1. Yeah, kind of a sloppy start to this game with some early timeouts. An offside. And good to see that Forte looked like he wasn't placing any weight on the one leg, but able to make it off the field and onto the trainer's table and getting some love from some of his teammates after an early injury. Caden Brown in motion. He gets the handoff, picks up 3, and that results in a Pennsbury Falcon first down. They're up to the 47-yard line on the opening drive of the night.
Well, so far so good for this Falcon offense. I mean, there's been lots of pauses, but in between that, Pennsbury has gone up the field and done it in the air, on the ground. So good job so far.
Yeah, and also got a little help from CB West on that offside. But back-to-back first downs for the Falcons. Randolph in motion, and they'll give him the little shovel pass. He crosses midfield and is brought down at the 49. 4-yard pickup. Zach Zabo in on the tackle for CB West. Yeah, CB West with a tough loss to Neshaminy last week, but head coach Rob Rowan said he's hoping his team looks at it as a learning opportunity. Neshaminy forced them into making some mistakes and hoping to clean some of that stuff up as they take on Pennsbury tonight. Brown and Ciola move to the other side of the formation. The give is to McCardle, and he has flattened a loss on the play. And as they unpile, Zach Zabo in on the stop, along with Evan Patras.
Patras and Zabo read it perfectly and jumped all over McCardle there.
So after a couple of first downs, the Falcons now looking at a 3rd and 8 from midfield. Probably not 4-down thinking for Coach Snyder, so if the Bucks can get a stop here, they likely could force a kick, and the Falcons take another timeout. Their second of the first half comes with 8:09 to go in the first quarter, and gives us a moment to recognize our sponsors. How about Junior's Car Wash, the fastest growing, most award-winning, locally owned and operated car wash in Lower Bucks? We're talking about Junior's Express right there near Pennsbury High School at the corner of New Falls Road and Hood Boulevard. And Junior's owned by a Pennsbury graduate and proud to support his alma mater, proud to bring you portions of tonight's high school football on WBCB. You can join Junior's Express Car Wash's rewards program, and you get a free $20 car wash. You take advantage of some discounted monthly packages and free vacuums. Junior's Express Car Wash, open Monday through Saturday from 7 to 7. On Sundays, open 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the corner of New Falls Road and Hood Boulevard. Also at 2270 Bristol, Oxford Valley Road in Levittown. This time they go strong to the right side, and they give the football to Randolph. Randolph slips through a couple of tackles, but then runs into one of the top defenders for the Bucks, Nick Mileto.
Decision time, Chris.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty quick decision for Coach Snyder. He brings out David Kane to kick it away.
Well, I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a decision, but yep, he made that decision very quickly.
And back to receive the kick, Mr. Everything for CB West this year. Sapolo, quarterback, safety, and also returns kicks. And looked like that one was maybe partially blocked. Ends up being a decent kick for Pennsbury as it goes down to the 10-yard line. I don't know how that wasn't blocked. That looked like the kick was deflected partially.
He was right in his face when he was letting that thing off. I don't know how he didn't get some sort of deflection on it, unless he did, and it just was that good of a kick that it just still busted through it.
Kind of blasted right through whatever contact might have been there. So good job by Kane as they do flip the field, and they make the Bucks go 90 yards here as they start at their own 10. Sapolo from the gun. No, the handoff there was to Sapolo. That time it was Liam Laffin who was lined up in shotgun formation. And the give there to Louis Sapolo. And he picks up a CB West first down. 10-yard pickup as they move it on up to the 20.
Like we said, two very run-heavy offenses. So you're probably going to see a lot of that, and I'm hearing a lot of that name tonight.
Josh George takes the snap, gives to Sapolo, tries to step through a tackle, but the Falcons get to him. LaRue Madison, one of the first guys there. And Sam Comer in the mix for the Falcons, brings up 2nd and 6. Yeah, so it's Josh George here running the show, and Sapolo, the tailback for CB West. And the give goes to Mileto. Mileto spins out of some tackles, crosses the 30, up to the 35. He's pushed out of bounds by McCartney, but it's a big CB West pickup as they pick up 19 yards to the 39. And it's a 1st and 10 for CB West. So that time McCartney pushing Mileto out of bounds. 6:01 to go, first quarter. George hands to Sapolo. Sapolo across the 40, up to the 43. McCartney forces him out of bounds. Also, LaRue Madison in there on the stop for Pennsbury. They pick up 4, 2nd and 6. All right, different look here for CB West as a spread formation. George, the only guy in the backfield, he takes the shotgun snap, rolls to the far side, directing traffic. Now he's going to try to tuck it away, makes a spin move, and that's going to be enough as his forward progress gets him up to the 50. And that's another first down for CB West, a 6-yard pickup.
Man, what a play right there. Rolled out to the right, looking to pass it, saw nobody open and plenty of green grass, so decides to take it himself, fights through some contact, nice spin move, put him in the spinorama, and a fight for that first down. Great job.
Tornado style by George to avoid that tackle and getting that first down. Shifty moves by George.
Yeah, a little quarterback keeper to keep this drive going for CB West. Sapolo, the tailback, gets the handoff, trying to weave through some traffic, but a textbook tackle by LaRue Madison.
Third tackle already for LaRue Madison.
And he has been an absolute monster for this defense this year. LaRue Madison, he seems like no matter who the ball carrier is or where he is at the field, he is around him.
Yeah, and that linebacker group, I think, has stepped up when you look at the play of Henry Garlitz and how he kind of moved into a different role this season. Again, George, the only guy in the backfield. That's Sapolo in motion, and Sapolo gets the give. He's flattened by Depew after he crosses the 45 up to the 44-yard line.
Flag on the play, though.
Flag down. Usually it's a hold. That's typically what you see from that spot on the field, and it is against CB West. So that will negate the pickup and put him behind the sticks. 3:50 to go. First quarter, McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. No score yet. The Falcons' first drive, they kicked it away. And now the first opportunity with the football for CB West has them looking at a 2nd and long after the holding call. George from the gun. Hands off to the motion man, and he's brought down by Garlitz. That was Davis Parisi who got the handoff, but a solid play there by Garlitz. And after the play, one of the Falcons shaken up, and that is Garlitz, who's down. So an injury timeout with 3:24 to go in the first quarter. We'll step aside and return for more high school football tonight on WBCB.
Strong starts are essential on the field and in life. That's why PNC created the Grow Up Great program, a $350 million multi-year bilingual initiative that began in 2004 to help prepare children from birth to age 5 for success in school and life. PNC is helping children in our community more than ever grow up great. Learn more at pncgrowupgreat.com. PNC for the achiever in you. PNC Bank, member FDIC. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your...
Well, the Falcons can ill afford to lose one of their key defenders, but Henry Garlitz, as he heads to the far side of the field, not able to put any weight on that left leg, and Looks like his return tonight is doubtful. Hopefully he'll just get back here at some point this season. But a loss for the Falcons and the Bucks with a 3rd and long. Pennsbury defense here, maybe with a possibility to come up with a stop. Long throw down the field, incomplete, intended for Owen Pudlow. Their little backside pressure coming at Sapolo from Sylvester Jones. Not sure if he heard those footsteps or not, but lets that one go, and the incompletion brings up 4th and long. The Bucks will punt.
Good job by Pennsbury. Limit what you can on the CB West offense. It's a high-potent offense. It's gonna score points. It's gonna move the ball. But as long as you can bend, don't break, you're gonna have hopefully success tonight.
And tonight, the CB West Bucks have kind of hurt themselves with some penalties. Right there was that holding call that hamstrung that drive. Beatty back to return the kick. The punt from Mason Darrows to the 20, and Beatty slips through a couple of tackles up to the 40, 45 before he is tripped up shy of midfield. The special teams play made by Jimmy Cooker.
That's a really good return because there was multiple unblocked CB West players right in front of Beatty, ready to tackle him, and he was just so shifty to get out of that and make a good return out of what should have been no return at all. So that's a play like that. You got to think it's going to spark this offense. It's going to spark something for this team.
Beatty was regarded as, by Coach Snyder in the preseason, as maybe the most athletic guy on this team, and showed off his athleticism in full form right there.
Yeah, well, Chris has talked to him plenty of times on the roundtable, and he wants to play at Penn State.
From their own 47, the give goes to McCardle. Well executed by Pennsbury. McCardle gets some blocks and crosses the 50 up to the 49-yard line. 6-yard pickup, 2nd and 4. Again, the Pennsbury Football Parents Club inviting you to check out all the new concession stands at the Pennsbury home games this year, and also check out the all-new Pennsbury apparel. Caden Brown in motion, gets the handoff, takes it right up the middle, across the 45 to the 44. Not quite enough for a Falcon first down. It brings up a 3rd and 1. Another stop by Zabo. Last time they were in a 3rd and short situation, the give went to McCardle. Right now he is to the right of Arndt and gets the handoff, takes it off tackle, and picks up 2. It's a Pennsbury Falcon first down.
Pennsbury grounding and pounding for that first down. Classic Falcon football right there.
Solid job up front and a good job by McCardle to finish the run and make sure he just leaned forward for a little extra.
Yeah, the one thing we did preface with these offenses, both teams love to run the rock, try to establish the run, and you've seen that here because we're only in the second drive, for Pennsbury, 3rd drive of the day, and we're already only at 1 minute left in this quarter.
The give goes to Randolph, and Randolph grabbed, and that was Zabo, I believe, who would not let go. A great job, and gets some help from some of his teammates. Ryan Zadroga also in there making the stop. Brings up 2nd and 9. As we dip down under the half-minute mark in the first quarter. McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. Well, so far another low-scoring game for Pennsbury. No score between these two teams so far. Again, McCardle on the right of Arndt, and Randolph there moving to the other side of the formation. The Falcons will take a timeout. Comes with 14 seconds to go. here in the first quarter. And we'll remind you, you can build a game-winning defense around your business. BAI Security is your local hometown security partner, protecting what matters most with 24/7 alarm monitoring, fire and burglar alarms, security camera, access control, and now fire protection, sprinklers, kitchen systems, and fire extinguisher services. Play smart and protected. BAI Security, protecting your business like a champion. Call 215-493-1414. That's 215-493-1414. Well, great to be up here in Doylestown. A beautiful night for high school football. Let's give a little shout out to the Pennsbury coaches who opted to go up on the roof so that we could be in the press box. And they're looking for a little, I don't know, we got to get them some soft pretzels or something like that. 2nd and 9 for the Falcons. Ciola and Brown move to the other side of the formation. A flag comes out. It's a false start on Pennsbury. Well, right there, you start this drive with decent field position. You pick up a first down, and then just a false start right there. You can't afford that stuff.
Yeah, every time this Pennsbury offense has done anything successful or has had any kind of momentum this season, they have just been self-inflicted with these penalties and these flags that just are unnecessary.
Now I think on 2nd and long, maybe you try to take to the air. Yeah, and Art will drop back, pressure, and is sacked on the play. Brought down by Liam Laffin. Comes off the edge, and Art, there's really no chance on that when the pocket collapsed on him. He was trying to roll to the near side, and it's a huge loss. Makes this a 3rd and, 25 here?
25, yes.
Yeah, it was a blitz by the Bucks and Pennsbury with just no answers. We come to the end of the first quarter.
All right, so no score after quarter number 1 here on the McCaffrey's Game of the Night, and we'll come right back to CB West High School for more high school football on WBCB.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
Welcome back to CB West High School, the home of the Bucks. The Falcons so far with a 3rd and long as we start the second quarter. So right there, that false start, you say maybe we got to pass on 2nd and long, and now it's 3rd and even longer. The give to McCardle. He takes it up the middle. Decent gain up to midfield, but still the Falcons well short of a first down. And looking at a 4th and long, they'll have David Kane back out to punt this one away.
Yeah, went a little conservative in that route. You know, there's virtually no way you're going to be able to get that first down. So let's shorten the field a little bit, make it an easier kick for David Kane, and try to pin them as close to their end zone as they can.
Yeah, last time he had him at the 10-yard line.
It's a good punt.
Spiraling kick, fair catch, called for and made at the 13. So that's where the Bucks will start this drive at their own 13-yard line with 11:20 remaining in the first half. Well, nobody makes better South Philly sandwiches and hoagies than 9th Street on Main in Yardley at 40 South Main Street. Steak sandwiches made with sliced ribeye, chicken cutlet sandwiches pan-fried the old school way. They got South Philly hoagies made on South Philly seeded bread, roast pork, meatball, eggplant, and sausage sandwiches, plus all-day breakfast sandwiches. Catering available, 9th Street on Main in Yardley at 40 South Main Street. And they help to power our post-game, passing along a certificate for a hoagie to our Pennsbury player of the game. 1st and 10 from the 13. It's a pitch out to Sapolo. Sapolo gets a block, cuts it upfield, and gets up to the 21-yard line before being brought down. Tackle there by John Zurich. But an 8-yard pickup on the pitch out makes it 2nd and 2.
Sapolo up to 27 yards on the ground already, just through 6 rushes.
Yeah, pretty good vision on that play to see how that play was developing and make the right cut.
4.5 yards per play.
That's Sapolo in motion. Gets the handoff, running room up to the 25. Luke Bagley, that's LaRue Madison, lost his helmet. And the play results in a Bucks first down. They get it up to the 34-yard line.
How about David Kane in there on defense with the tackle? In there at defensive end.
David Kane has had some snaps at quarterback. He's been the mainstay as the punter for this Pennsbury team, and now lined up as edge rusher. From the 34, 1st and 10. Sapolo with another rush, and it's a flag on the play, a hold against CB West. So now they have to deal with their own self-inflicted wounds. Makes it 1st and 20. CB West looking for that bounce back here against Pennsbury. Fell to Neshaminy last week, 28-18 at Heartbreak Ridge. And now George from the gun hands the football off to Mileto. And kind of a conservative play call there. Don't get much out of it. Makes it 2nd and 17. So another defensive struggle that the Falcons find themselves in. Junior quarterback Josh George. Lone setback. Sapolo in motion, bobbles the handoff, and then skips through a couple of defenders. Running room to the far side of the field. Tries to make a cut across the 50, and he's dropped at the 48-yard line. Depew there to make the tackle for Pennsbury. But it's a big play for CB West, a first down, and they have it at the 49 of Pennsbury.
24-yard run for Sapolo. 64 yards on the night. He was jumping over people. He was breaking tackles. And a heck of a run by Sapolo.
So he's lined up as the tailback behind George. Calls for the football, drops back, looks downfield, and has his man. The pass is brought in by Ashton Stas. And the Bucks are inside the red zone. It's a first down at the 10-yard line.
That was a great ball and an even better grab. Tight coverage.
I think we might have the Stas family in front of us.
Yeah,
I was
think
just
you're
about
right.
to say, because they are loving it right now.
First and goal at the 10 for CB West.
44-yard play.
Couple of explosive plays, a Sapolo run, a Stas catch. And now George with the handoff gives to Sapolo. He's slowed up by LaRue Madison and is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Makes it second and goal from the 10. Second quarter clock now under the 8-minute mark. McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. Great to have you with us tonight. And George ready for a second and goal from the 10. Hands off to the motion man. Up to the 5 goes Pudlow. And that's where his forward progress is stopped. Third and goal at the 5.
We're talking with this Pennsbury defense, the bend, don't break. Like, you're going to give up big plays. You're going to give up first downs to a lot of these good offenses, but do not let them score. And this is a great example right here of bend, don't break. You have a third and goal. Get a stop here. They may go for it on fourth. If they do, stop them there or make them kick the field goal.
Yeah, they may bring out Mason Darrows to try to put some points up on the scoreboard if the Falcons do get a stop here on third and goal from the 5. And the flip goes to Sapolo, gets it on the toss there from Mileto. But the Falcons do get the stop. Looked like an impressive play as it developed.
Yeah.
But a great job to get to the football and make it fourth and goal from the 3.
Yeah, like you said, a great job just to get to the ball. Looked like he almost had the angle to get to that pylon, but a great job by Luke Snyder's defense here to really lock in and stop that play. And it looks like they're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Yeah, 4th and 4. Or 4th and goal from the 4-yard line. George hands off to Sapolo looking for that pylon. He's not going to get there. The Falcons get the stop. They turn him over on downs. One of the first defenders there, Luke Bagley. Big play by the Pennsbury defense.
And all you can say there is big time show up by the defense. You give up that huge play to get them into the red zone. Got a first and goal, but a great job. Like we said, bend, do not break. Do not let them in the end zone. Snuffed them all 4 times. What a job by this defensive unit. And we talked last week after the game with Luke Snyder. He felt confident in his team. He feels confident in his defense. It's just being able to execute it there. Well, they executed that perfectly.
I mean, after that stop, Gus, it almost feels like this game has a CB East feel to it. Like, are these teams going to be able to get into the end zone tonight? Handoff up the middle. Couple of tough yards. Conservative play call for the Falcons.
This could be a game where the points are at a premium. Like, get as many points as you can. It doesn't matter if it's a field goal or a touchdown. Just get some points on that board. And that was a great chance for CB West to get points on the board. If it was through the end zone or the field goal attempt, that close, it's kind of hard to not go against the decision to go for it. But like we said, points at a premium, it's going to be huge.
Yeah, we got a lot of football left. This game may look very different in the third quarter, but right now it feels like the first team to score might be able to get the W. Handoff for Caden Brown. That was Moyer that time, who takes it up to the 5. Mileto makes the tackle for the Bucks.
Fire department's real excited for this game as they're zooming by with their hire and letting these CB West fans know that they're here.
Yeah, getting a little community support from the first responders.
Yeah, they're saying, let's go Bucks.
McCardle in motion. Arndt under center with a pitch out and a Falcon first down. Running room for Luke Moyer. He steps out of bounds at the 18. But that is enough for a Falcon first down. And goes out of bounds, stopping the clock at 4:38 in the second quarter. Wait a second. They're marching his back.
Are they redoing
I didn't see a flag
down? Yeah,
down.
I didn't see it down. Are they redoing this play?
No, there was a flag thrown, and they're marking off some yardage against the Pennsbury Falcons. I think they had a holding call. Wow, so...
Well, it was a really big play from the young Moyer, just erased off the board. That's
it's right on
huge.
script for Pennsbury this year, where you get a big play, but it's negated because of a mistake or, one player blows an assignment.
That is tough. That the biggest play of the night for this Pennsbury offense.
Makes it 3rd and 9. And a handoff across the 5 for Caden Brown. Makes it 4th and 4. And the Falcons, with about 4:15 to go in the second quarter, will have David Kane out for another punt. Sapolo dropping back to receive the kick for CB West. I don't think the Falcons have enough guys out there. Now they finally get their 11th to join. And Kane calls for the snap. They get the playoff. Have a shorter kick and checks up right where it lands. Good field position for CB West as that ball is stopped at the 38-yard line. So with 3:42 to go in the second quarter, time for the Bucks to get the offense going. We want to remind you that PIAA District 1 is looking for officials for all sports. If you're interested, visit PIAA.org for more info. Again, that's PIAA.org. George gives to Louis Sapolo. Sapolo steps through a couple of tackles, crosses the 30 up to the 28 at the 10-yard gain. And CB West picks up the first down.
Nothing special there from Sapolo, just putting his head down and running through this Pennsbury defense. Finally, Parada able to take him down.
One thing that's pretty impressive about Sapolo is he's got some nifty feet, got some quickness, and has been able to dance through a couple of tackles. He's on the near side wing. George in the gun. Drops back, throws, and it's complete. He hits Liam Laffin, who goes into the end zone for a CB West touchdown. Wow, Laffin with a great grab right there. He stuck out that big paw, and he hauled it in with one hand. And then works his way into the end zone to make it 6-0 with 3:06 to go here in the second quarter.
Man, oh man, big time throw right there. A little bit of a break in the defense, it looked like. It looked like a linebacker was scooching over a little to the middle of the field, and the receiver was just coming towards the close sideline and had him a little bit out of place, and that just gave him enough lane to get into the end zone. And great job by CB West's offense to realize that the run defense for Pennsbury is pretty good, but they could get something offensively if they pass the ball.
Yeah, and connecting right there as we come back up the field, 7-0. The extra point good off the foot of Mason Darrows. And the Falcons trail 7-0 in the McCaffrey's game of the night. Big thanks to Galaxy Landscaping. Get your lawn looking out of this world with Galaxy Landscaping. Whether you need annual mowing during the season or an overall uplift to your home's landscape, Galaxy Landscaping, they can do it all. Garden care, mulch install, trimming and pruning. The Galaxy Landscaping team ready to give you great service at an affordable price. Call Pennsbury alumni Matt and Sean And you can book up Galaxy Landscaping. Book them for all your lawn care needs at 267-842-5299. And big thanks to Galaxy Landscaping for powering portions of tonight's game. Well, right where it seemed like it was going to be a defensive stalemate, the Bucks get onto the scoreboard with a big connection. George to Laffin for 22 yards and a big kick. Big leg there for Mason Darrows. Puts it into the end zone for a touchback. So the Falcons start at the 20 with 3:06 to go in the first half. Stick with us during halftime. We'll recap first half scoring, give you some first half stats, and also share the performance of the Pennsbury Falcon Marching Band. The long orange line getting set to perform.
A little disappointed, no vocalists in the CB West band. They did a great job, but I mean, CB South, I think, was the icing on the cake for the Central Bucks bands.
Yeah, that performance was a little different, very impressive. Randolph in motion, gets the little shovel pass, but does not get away from Owen Pudlow. And it's a 5-yard loss on first down for the Falcons. So they get the ball with 3:06 here remaining in the second quarter. You want to move the football, but you also don't want to give the football back to CB West with much time to work with. So after a loss on first down, I think you keep it on the ground here. Arndt sets him down. And he drops back, looks downfield, the pocket collapses, and he is sacked. In there was Zach Zabo. And he was not alone. Liam Laffin, who caught the touchdown, was also in there right in the face of Jack Arndt. So now the Bucks take a timeout with 2:12 to go. CB West's second timeout of the first half. But now they're thinking, hey, we make a stop, we get the football back, we might be able to do a little bit more before the break.
Yeah, and they're getting the ball back after break. So if they're able to get the ball here, score, get the ball back, do something with it, this could be a 3-possession swing within a matter of a couple minutes.
Yeah, we've talked about that strategy where you win the coin flip, you defer and get the football first in the second half, allows you the opportunity maybe to double up with a score at the end of the second quarter and then start with it in the third quarter. Well, don't forget, if you missed tonight's action on BCB, you can read about it in tomorrow's Trentonian. Outstanding local and national sports coverage that you can count on 7 days a week. It's all in the pages of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, check it out. The Trentonian, the only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. So third and long. I think you got to keep it on the ground and force the Bucks maybe to take a timeout. No, they look to throw the football. Arndt downfield. He's flush from the pocket and just has to throw this one away, throws it out of bounds. And that stops the clock with 2:05 remaining in the second quarter. So now David Kane out to punt. And Sapolo back to receive the kick.
Yeah, you want to get something done and get the first down, but yeah, it's surprising they didn't try to run the ball there just to keep the clock moving and not give CB West much time to work with. But
yeah, Sapolo and Mileto back to receive. We'll see where this kick goes. Goes to Sapolo. A little return up to the 40 to the near side before he is chased out of bounds. And that's a nice little punt return. Sets up CB West in a great spot with a 1st and 10 from the Falcon 32. Little deception right there. Mileto was back and looked like Mileto kind of signaled for a fair catch, but he wasn't the guy who caught the punt. Sapolo. Not sure if it was a distraction down on the field, but made me pause for a moment. George rolls to the far side, whips that downfield, great throw, and it's caught, touchdown. Sean Beatty was right there for the Pennsbury Falcons, but they get it to Wilson. Jack Wilson, and what a throw by Josh George. I mean, just the ease at which he sent that downfield. Great arm talent displayed on that toss.
George just kind of flicked that thing down the field and found Jack Wilson down there. An incredible catch over Beatty, and just a great throw, great catch, amazing play.
We talked about the Pennsbury Falcons trying not to give CB West much time. They didn't need much time at all. Only took 3 seconds off the clock there from snap to touchdown. So 2 minutes, 2 seconds, they were able to get it in for a touchdown.
32-yard touchdown pass from George, completion to Wilson. He has a 32-yard touchdown pass and a 28-yard touchdown pass. He's up to 98 passing yards tonight on just 3 completions.
And a couple of quick scores for the Bucks. Got into the end zone with 3:06 to go in the second quarter, and back for another touchdown with 1:47 to go here before halftime. And they jump in front of the Falcons 14-0. Again, read about tonight's game in tomorrow's Trentonian. Outstanding local and national sports coverage. Count on it 7 days a week. And just 20 minutes from Langhorne is a better Ford car and truck buying experience at Haldeman Ford. Route 33, Hamilton Township. More selection, better price on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, and award-winning service. Haldeman Ford, Route 33, Hamilton Township. We thank them for their support. Darrows has it teed up. Bagley and Beatty back to receive for the Falcons, but Darrows has been sending these deep into the end zone, and that's going to reach the end zone as well. Another touchback.
It's another touchback for Mason Darrows.
So the Falcons, with 1:47, have it at their own 20-yard line.
And with how this Pennsbury Falcon offense goes, you know, ground and pound, they like to take their time, so not a 1:47 is not a good amount of time.
1:47 and still a timeout for CB West to potentially utilize. Caden Brown in motion. The give goes to Luke Moyer. Little counter handoff. And a 5-yard pickup to the 25. Well, to start this whole thing off, CB West won the coin flip, and they opted to defer. So to start the second half, they will receive the kickoff. As we get ever closer to halftime, down to 1:10 remaining. Arndt looking downfield, has his man, connects with Randolph. And it's a Pennsbury Falcon first down up to the 35-yard line. Well, one of the encouraging things for Pennsbury on their pass connections, they've been able to get their receivers open. Randolph there, he had some space, and earlier Sean Beatty, when he connected with Arndt, I feel like one of the things, Arndt's been thrown into a lot of traffic and a lot of coverage. And when they've done a pretty good job executing those plays, to give to Luke Moyer. Moyer across the 35, picks up a couple of yards. The junior marked down at the 39. Just 15 seconds remaining before halftime. Movement up front. Looked like the defense jumped. And yeah, it is offside. on CB West.
Hail Mary almost. Almost getting to that point. 12 seconds left where you're at in the field. You only have so much time and I believe no timeouts. So you're really going to have to look at either getting to the outside, getting out of bounds, or just going for it. Oh, they started the clock, so they're going to have one less play.
Yeah, it looks like the last play here, and it's a throw over the middle. Dante Ciola with the grab. That's a Falcon first down as he's across the 45 to the 43, but that's going to be the last play of the first half tonight as the Pennsbury Falcons trailing CB West 14-0 in the McCaffrey's Game of the Night on WBCB. Stay with us at halftime. We'll have first half stats, recap first half scoring, and share the performance of the Pennsbury Falcon Marching Band with you. They're set to take the field in just a little bit. And before we step aside, I want to remind you that you can build a game-winning defense around your business with BAI Security, your local hometown security partner protecting what matters most. 24/7 alarm monitoring, fire and burglar alarms, security camera, access control, and now fire protection, sprinklers, kitchen systems, and fire extinguisher services. Play smart and protected. BAI Security, protecting your business like a champion. Call 215-493-1414. That's 215-493-1414 for BAI Security. Next week, we're back at Falcon Field. The Pennsbury Falcons host the North Penn Knights, and the Pennsbury Football Parents Club inviting you. Check out all the new concession stands, check out all the new apparel that they have over there, and check out some Pennsbury Falcon football as they get back home next week to take on North Penn. All right, 14-0 at the break. We'll be right back with halftime activities on the WBCB Sports Network.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
When it comes to plumbing, there's only one trusted name for your home or business. That's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Whether it's drains, water heaters, faucets, or sewers, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown can solve all of your plumbing problems. Time-tested and punctual since 1984. It's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Call them at 215-943-1776. That's 215-943-1776 for Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, a proud supporter of high school athletics in Bucks County.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Fred Herron. As your Bucks County Sheriff, it's my job to uphold the law and keep our community safe. That's what I've done every day for nearly 40 years in law enforcement. From the streets of Bensalem to the county courthouse, my focus has been on making our families feel secure in their homes, neighborhoods, and our schools. Safety requires proven leadership because in this office, experience is everything. This November, vote for our team so we can continue providing dependable leadership for our community. I'm your Sheriff, Fred Herron, and I approve this message.
Proceeding paid for by Herron for Sheriff.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I've stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us, delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County. Our families, our safety, our home.
McCaffrey McCaffrey's Express makes grocery shopping easy. McCaffrey's now offers online shopping, curbside pickup, or delivery. You get the same in-store prices and no third-party markup. Products are chosen by McCaffrey's own trained staff. Text messages are even accepted for order changes. Shop your way at McCaffrey's Food Markets, online or the app, and earn awards and use digital coupons. McCaffrey's Food Markets in the Edgewood Village Shopping Center, 635 Heacock Road, Yardley. Also in Newtown, New Hope, Doylestown, Princeton, and West Windsor.
The Peruzzi Automotive Group. No matter where you purchased your car, take it to a local Peruzzi dealership service department for the best deals on tires. Buy 3, get the 4th free. All makes and models. Name brand tires. The Peruzzi Automotive dealerships on Route 1 in Fairless Hills, where our business is you.
Strong starts are essential on the field and in life. That's why PNC created the Grow Up Great program, a $350 million multi-year bilingual initiative that began in 2004 to help prepare children from birth to age 5 for success in school and life. PNC is helping children in our community more than ever grow up great. Learn more at pncgrowupgreat.com. PNC for the achiever in you. PNC Bank, member FDIC. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250.
Welcome back to Central Bucks West High School as the Bucks with a 14-0 lead over the Pennsbury Falcons at halftime. And the Pennsbury Falcon Marching Band, the Long Orange Line, taking the field, set to perform. And we'll have that performance for you in just a little bit. Want to let you know that one of the nicest restaurants in all of Bucks County is right here in our own backyard overlooking the Delaware River. Charcoal in Yardley. Charcoal offers exceptional food that's locally sourced and seasonally inspired. Charcoal serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner Wednesday through Sunday, and Charcoal is a BYOB restaurant. Visit their website for menus and more information, charcoalbyob.com. That's charcoalbyob.com. Charcoal voted Best of Bucks and truly a neighborhood gem and down-to-earth American cafe overlooking the Delaware on River Road in Yardley, open Wednesday through Sunday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And 20 minutes from Langhorne, a better Ford car and truck buying experience, Haldeman Ford, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. More selection, better price on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, and award-winning service. Haldeman Ford, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. Don't forget you missed the action on BCB. Read about tonight's game in tomorrow's Trentonian. And also thanks to Jammer Doors and Windows, a fourth-generation local family-owned business since 1920. They're offering Raynor garage doors and openers, the finest garage doors and openers. Get them at Jammer. And Jammer also carries entry doors, patio doors and windows, sales, service, and installation. And Jammer Doors, they do their own install. They don't use subcontractors, and that means fairer pricing and more pride in the work that they do, both residential and commercial, sales, and service. Visit Jammer Doors and Windows. Their showroom is at 2850 Brunswick Avenue on Business Route 1 in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, and their Yardley showroom in the Grist Mill at 10 North Main Street is open by appointment. Call 215-493-7709. That's 215-493-7709. All right, I think the Pennsbury marching band's set to perform. Here they go. right, the Pennsbury Falcon Marching Band, the Long Orange Line at halftime. The Falcons trail the CB West Bucks 14-0, and we recap first half scoring. First touchdown came with 3:06 to go in the second quarter, a 22-yard touchdown hookup from junior quarterback Josh George to his target Liam Laffin. Laffin brings it in with one hand and takes it into the end zone for the first score of the night. Mason Darrows has been very impressive. His kickoffs have all gone into the end zone, and the extra points have been there for CB West. So he splits the uprights, makes it 7-0, and then another quick score. 1:48 to go in the second quarter. This time it's a 32-yard touchdown strike as Josh George able to hit Jack Wilson, the senior, into the end zone, and a great play right there. Sean Beatty was in coverage for the Pennsbury Falcons, and just a great individual effort, a play on the ball made by Jack Wilson gets them into the end zone for the second time tonight. And so far, that's all the scoring thus far. CB West will get the football first as they will receive the opening kickoff in the second half, but Josh George, a pretty impressive stat line, throwing the football. Was it only a few completions, but racking up the yardage and those 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Josh George has thrown the ball 4 times. He's completed it 3 times, and he's thrown for 98 yards.
Wow.
So if you do some quick math, a little 98 divided by 3, he's averaging 32.67 yards per play.
And 2/3 of his throws are going into the end zone.
Exactly. Two of those are in the end zone. 28-yard completion and a 32-yard touchdown completion. He's also got a rush for 7 yards. Move it down the line. Another impressive note. Louis Cipolla. I don't know why I was having trouble with that. 12 rushes for 79 yards. And then the only other guy, Owen Pudlow, 1 rush for 4 yards for a ton of offense for CB West. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, Jack Arndt has thrown the ball well, 3 for 4, but not a ton of yards to show for it. There's 36 yards in the air. He's been sacked twice. Caden Brown has 4 rushes for 12 yards. Noah McCardle leading the way on the ground, 5 rushes for 16 yards. Connor Randolph, 5 rushes for 6 yards. He also has a 10-yard reception. Luke Moyer, 3 rushes for 11 yards. Sean Beatty had the first reception of the game for 15 yards, and then Dante Ciola to end the half had a reception for 11 yards.
Well, the Bucks have been good enough on defense to hold Pennsbury in check, and 2 touchdowns up on the scoreboard. They're a team, last week a tough loss to Neshaminy, and that may have them on the outside looking in when it comes to a league title. But when you look at how the playoffs are formulating, this Bucks team, a dangerous one, that versatility, like Cipolla has run the show at quarterback at times, and today they have him in a different role as the running back, and they moved Josh George in there, and he has been very impressive. And to have all those different pieces that you can move in and out of the offense, I think makes them a potent team. And Pennsbury, again, they played really good defense throughout this season, especially stopping the run against just about everybody who they have come up against this year. But it's the pass that has hurt them. And today, those 2 touchdown passes from Josh George, the difference in this game. You look at, they played the run pretty good, but you need to be able to stop that air attack as well. And that's been one of the things that has plagued Pennsbury throughout this season, and it's bit them sometimes at the worst times. Like this game looked like it was pretty much in check, and then right at the end of that second quarter, boom, you get lit up for a couple of big plays.
Yeah, it's definitely breaking emotionally to see something like that. You've played so well defensively, and right going into halftime, you have that big play for the touchdown. 3 seconds taken off the clock, 1 play in there. It's tough, but you still look at the performance that they've been out there defensively. It hasn't been that bad. So you just really got to turn things around offensively. That's been the story of pretty much all year.
Yeah.
And try to get the ball back quickly here in the second half.
And what side of the ball have the Pennsbury Falcons leaned on this season? the defense.
Absolutely.
And they're going to have the defense out there first to start the second half. It seems like an advantage for CB West to get the football first. But I think if Pennsbury can get a stop and build that little bit of momentum and get that defense back out there playing lights out as they have throughout this season, maybe that's the spark that they need. And it's perfect for Pennsbury that they got the defense out there first, because it's been the defense that has kept them in games throughout this season. And, they need to get the ball back and start that turnaround right away.
204 total yards for the Bucks, 106 of that on the ground. Meanwhile, for Pennsbury, just 81 with 45 of them on the ground.
Well, next week we're back at Falcon Field, the Pennsbury Football Parents Club, inviting you check out the all-new concession stands at the Pennsbury home games, and also check out the all-new Pennsbury apparel. And we want to invite you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine and pizza. Come back to Villa Rosa in the Edgewood Village Shopping Center in Yardley, family-owned and operated for over 30 years, a family-run restaurant offering extraordinary Italian dishes and pizza for lunch and dinner at very reasonable prices, traditional pizzas to gourmet pizza pies, plus hot and cold subs, sandwiches, wraps, burgers, and more. Dinner entrees like fresh seafood, specialty pasta dishes, chicken and veal dishes, plus a special kids menu. BYOB, eat in or take out, and Villa Rosa also caters. Villa Rosa open Monday through Thursday from 10 to 10:30, Fridays and Saturday open till 11, and Sunday open 10:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Villa Rosa in the Edgewood Village Shopping Center near McCaffrey's at 661 Heacock Road in Yardley. Angelo Pereira approaches the football and kicks this one away. A high, deep kick that is brought in by Sapolo at the 4, and Sapolo nearly brought down by Randolph there, and ends up tripping forward up to the 22-yard line. So CB West football at their own 23 on their opening drive of this second half of play. McCaffrey's game of the night. McCaffrey's Food Market's exceptional every day.
Justin LaRue Madison, the linebacker, leading the way with 4 tackles for Pennsbury. And out of the second half, Henry Garlett's not returning for the second half. We saw him suffer that presumed ankle injury in the late in the first quarter. So still not out there.
Handoff to Sapolo on first down. And a nice job by the Falcons to bring him down after a gain of just 1. Jackson Coons in there with the stop.
I think it's likely to say, after how that injury looked, that the night is over for Garlitz, and hopefully he'll return sometime in this season.
Yeah, Falcons with some more big games in front of them again next week, back at Falcon Field taking on North Penn before traveling to Abington and wrapping up the regular season against Neshaminy. Man in motion, and the give is to the tailback. And not much there. LaRue Madison and Jacob Parada are there for the Falcons. And little gain brings up 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7 at the 26.
So this is kind of how we set it up, right? I mean, Falcons get a 3 and out, get a stop here, and force a kick. But one thing I love, look how wide Jones is on his edge rushes. I mean, he is way, way out to the near side of the field here. And the handoff goes to Mileto on the counter give, and he loses a yard back to the 25, and the Bucks do go 3 and out. Sean Beatty dropping back to receive the Mason Darrow's punt.
And now that you said it, I never realized how far wide he was rushing off of. He looked like he was playing kind of almost like a slot cornerback, and then you realize, wait, there's no slot receiver. What's he doing? And then he coming off the edge. It's interesting because getting at a good angle where he can stop the outside contain and even affect the inside runs.
Here, Darrow's with a high short kick, comes down at the 45 and takes a sideward bounce. That's a good bounce for the Falcons as it rolls dead at the 46-yard line of CB West. And that's where the Falcons will start their first drive of the second half. So good field position for Pennsbury. Hey, Kramer's Bakery in Yardley, baking things great since 1946 with handmade baked goods made fresh daily. And remember, everything baked fresh on the premises. Kramer's, 14 East Afton Avenue in Yardley. Shotgun snap to Arndt. Give goes to Brown. Brown stays on his feet and just gets back to the line of scrimmage. And that is all.
The
Buck is
Central Bucks
out.
West mascot, the Buck is out.
Looks like a 10-pointer.
That thing is crazy.
Big old head.
Yeah. Big antlers.
Falcons, no gain on first down.
Don't mess with the Buck, man. He's got some big antlers. Go at you.
And Arndt, looking downfield, steps up in the pocket, and the pocket collapses. And Arndt sacked again.
Oh, late flag after the play.
Another sack for the Bucks. Multiple flags on the play.
Multiple flags.
So possibly some type of taunting or unsportsmanlike there on that play. Well, they've dropped Arndt back a couple of times, and he's made some connections with Ciola, with Beatty. But there's been other situations where he just doesn't seem like he has time to operate. Right there, he just looked downfield momentarily and everything collapsed around him. All right, who's this against? The Bucks or the Falcons?
Not sure, exactly sure. There was
Looks
just
like they're going back. It's against Pennsbury.
Personal foul against Pennsbury.
There was a lot of, extracurricular activities there with the scrum of trying to advance, the runner with the momentum and the defense trying to stop him. Looks like Pennsbury just got a little too curricular with the extras. Extracurricular, you get it.
Curricular with the extras?
That's just frustration. That's.
What are you saying over there?
Just saying it, Just let it fly.
Randolph, motion man, gets the shovel handoff, and he is blown up by Szabo. Brought down for no gain. And now 4th and forever. Is it 4th and 26?
And offense staying on the. Oh, never mind.
No, you're right. They were. They were out there momentarily, and now out comes David Kane and the punt unit. And back to the sideline goes quarterback Jack Arndt. Back to receive, you have Nick Miletto and Louis Sapolo. Kane with a high spiraling kick. Sapolo steps up, goes off the back of one of the Pennsbury coverage guys. I think that was McCartney.
Yeah, just terrible, terrible luck there. Just rolled off the back.
LaRue Madison, I think, hit him in the back. But, yeah, not what you're looking for there. Kind of a short kick. So we talk about the out-kicking your coverage. That time Kane did not out-kick the coverage. He
It's pretty good.
Kicked it right into the back of his coverage
Pretty good
guy.
summary of how this night's going for Pennsbury. Just unlucky and things not going your way.
Meanwhile, the Bucks will start this drive with 7:56 to go in the third quarter. And officials discussing something.
Yeah, I think they're discussing if they were going to place the ball where it initially hit the Pennsbury player or if they're going to place the ball where they picked it up after it rolled off his back. And it looks like they're going to do it after it rolled off his back and rolled on the ground for a little bit, which it kind of makes sense. But usually if it's something like that, they would call it dead immediately.
Sapolo in motion. George throws downfield and connects with Parisi. And Parisi tiptoes along the sideline up to the 45 of Pennsbury for a CB West first down. So first drive of this third quarter, the Falcons force CB West to go 3 and out.
112 passing yards tonight for George.
But on that series of downs, they didn't throw the football at all. So there, George throws downfield and now again looks downfield, has time, lets this one go, and it is deflected and incomplete. Had his man there, and that pass just missed by Louis Sapolo.
A lot of traffic down there. There was guys in black jerseys, white jerseys, and George did a great job threading the needle, getting it to his guy, but not able to haul it in.
So 2nd and 10 from the Falcon 45. Read about tonight's game in tomorrow's Trentonian with outstanding local and national sports coverage. Count on it 7 days a week. So here, I formation with George under center. The give to the fullback. That ball came out. It's fumbled, loose on the field. And Mileto lost the ball. The Falcons say they have it, and they do. The Falcons come up with a fumble and take over at their own 40 with a 1st and 10.
Wow, oh wow. The defense coming through for this team yet again. Big time fumble and a big time recovery for this Falcons defense.
Yeah, it just felt like CB West was starting to pick up a little momentum, a little bit of energy, and then Mileto loses it. And the Falcons now need to maybe a first down throw here to mix things up a little bit. Arndt will look downfield, throw, connects with Randolph at the 50, and he steps out of bounds and takes a little bit of punishment as he goes back into the field of play, but stepped out at the 48. That's enough for a Falcon 1st down.
Deafening hit after he stepped out of bounds. And great play, draw up though.
Right there, Randolph showing his toughness, bouncing back up after that blow.
2 receptions tonight for Randolph, both over 10 yards, 22 total yards, or 22 passing or receiving yards for Randolph.
Handoff to Brown. Brown up the middle to the 45. He's got 3 yards for the Falcons and makes it 2nd and 7. And tonight, I think you're continuing to see the development of sophomore quarterback Jack Arndt. We mentioned in our Trentonian pregame activities that Jack Arndt shared time this season with David Kane and even had Ketchum come in last week for a series. But tonight, connecting with a bunch of his pass catchers. Here the handoff is to Moyer. Moyer with a seam and a big burst across the 35-yard line to the 32. Another Falcon 1st down.
PA guy just in the Chamonix again. I mean, this game has been going on for 2.5 quarters. We still can't get the team name right, but big run for the junior Moyer there. And
well, I say lest we be judged, because I'd be messing stuff up all the time. So, but that's pretty. Like, Chamonix's not here tonight, so you might want to clean that up a little bit.
It's been 2.5 quarters.
Low snap, and they get it to Moyer. Moyer looks like the same play, and another nice pickup by Pennsbury. 8 yards there across the 25 to the 24.
Moyer's got 5 rushes for 30 yards. His last 2, that one for 8, the one prior for 12. And Falcon down. I think it is Moyer.
Injury timeout after the 8-yard pickup. Clock stopped with 5:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll step aside and return to CB West for more high school football in just a moment.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
So Luke Moyer shaken up on the play, and he needs help getting to the far sideline. After the play, multiple flags came out, but turns out it was just a sideline warning against the Pennsbury Falcons, so no yardage marked off. If it happens again, they get hit with some yardage. I think it's maybe a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I don't think it's much, but it's something.
But here they hold on to the football.
2nd and 2 at the 24.
The flag is not an issue. And it's 2nd and 4 at the 24. So the furthest the Falcons have worked it into Bucks territory. And the handoff off tackle. Bryce Cruzen with his first carry of the season. And he picks up a Falcon first down to the 15-yard line.
I don't know what has gotten into this offense right now, but they have looked like a complete different offense from the first half and the last couple games. They are moving this ball right now.
Yeah, Cruzen goes out of bounds with 5:19 to go in the third quarter, and the Falcons now in the red zone.
Falcons doing a little bit of youth movement tonight. They go from Moyer, and now he's out of the game, go to Bryce Cruzen, and now here's another junior, Connor Randolph.
Yeah, shovel pass there to Randolph. The first guy he bangs into is Nick Mileto. Mileto doesn't get the tackle, but turns him aside, and a chop block is called on the Falcons. So Gus, right after you give him credit for moving the football and being in a groove, a chop block is going to set them back 10 yards.
Yeah,
Makes it 1st and 20.
I should just close my mouth.
Yeah,
I should
this
just
is all
stop
your
talking.
fault, man.
No, I'm not blaming you.
Put that mic up.
Just a little coincidental.
But it's,
And it's been what's been going on with this team throughout this season.
It's deja vu. It's anytime this offense is able to get anything productive or positive, there's either a flag, a self-inflicting wound, a turnover, something that really negates the momentum this offense was generating.
Yeah, what do you do here? 1st and 20. You give to Cruzen. And Cruzen, his forward progress stopped right around the line of scrimmage.
Oh, no, I think there's another Falcon on the ground.
And
he's able to get up, but he is gingerly number 55.
Jimmy Coons.
No gain on the play.
So no gain makes it 2nd and 20. And officials blow their whistles.
Yeah, they're telling Coons to go down on the ground. They're forcing him to get down.
Yeah, so an injury timeout. 4:36 to go, third quarter. And once again, we step aside. More high school football coming up in just moments.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
When it comes to plumbing, there's only one trusted name for your home or business. That's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Whether it's drains, water heaters, faucets, or sewers, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown can solve all of your plumbing problems. Time-tested and punctual since 1984. It's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Call them at 215-943-1776. That's 215-943-1776 for Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, a proud supporter of high school athletics in Bucks County.
All right, Jimmy Coons there was the Pennsbury player shaken up, and he's able to walk over to the far sideline without help. Hopefully he's doing okay. It looked like it might have been a twisted ankle, as the Falcons now from their own from the CB West 25 with a 2nd and 20. Cruising in the backfield. Brown moves alongside the QB. Arndt looking around, has nowhere to go with the football, and now pressured, just throws that one away. And where that one lands, that might be a grounding call.
Definitely should be intentional grounding.
And the officials are, usually they talk this over, kind of see, if it meets all the criteria, and then they'll throw a flag to let everybody know that there's a loss of down. But it looks like, no, it's going to be a third. Yeah, there it is. So grounding on Arndt means you lose the yardage and you lose the down.
Nice flag toss by the official there, just getting to the spot, facing the press box and taking that flag out. Just nice forward, upward motion with the flag. And
well done.
Not good for the Falcons, but a good job there by our head referee.
So now third and what the heck is this? Is like third and
41.
Third and 41.
Long.
41 at the 46.
In comes Sean Beatty for the Falcons.
Yeah, just to put in perspective how far this is, they almost have the ball at the 50-yard line. The first down is at the 5-yard line. That's how far they have to go.
And now the Falcons will take a timeout.
Because why not?
Timeout called by Pennsbury.
So 4:05 to go in the third quarter. Timeout on the field. Tonight's game brought to you by Kramer's Bakery in Yardley, baking things great since 1946. Handmade baked goods made fresh daily on the premises. Kramer's features custom cakes, dessert cakes with real fruit, cheesecakes, Danish pastry, their own fresh donuts, muffins, and more, including fresh bread and rolls. Kramer's Bakery also with dessert trays, perfect for the office, corporate affairs, or gifts, breakfast trays, cookie trays, and more. Kramer's Bakery at 14 East Afton Avenue in Yardley. Open Mondays 9 to 6, Tuesday through Saturday 7 to 7, and Sundays they're open 7 to 6. Remember, everything is baked fresh right on the premises at Kramer's Bakery. Yeah, it looked like the Falcons were going to get right back in this game as they had the football inside the red zone and were moving it, but a couple of penalties, a grounding call, and now third and forever. And yeah, motion there. It looked like the Falcons jumped. Somebody jumped. Yeah, false start called on Pennsbury. So it goes from 3rd and 41 to 3rd and 46.
It's getting ugly.
And you look over the past number of games, the Falcons have scored just 3 points over their past 3 games. Pereira connected on that field goal last week against CB South. And they were blanked against CB East. And so far, a goose egg up there with 4:05 to go, quarter number 3. But what's frustrating is, right when it seemed like things were going in the right direction,
now you got a 3rd and 46.
They go back the wrong way. Arndt hit as he throws, looking for Ciola. Contact there, no flag, and it's incomplete. Brings up 4th and 46. Falcons maybe could have gotten a DPI right there, a pass interference call, but that pass really thrown a little bit too far for Ciola to get underneath of. And so David Kane back to punt it away again. Nice snap and end-over-end kick called for a fair catch by Mileto. He likes to do that. He calls for a fair catch, and
I don't know if he meant to call for a fair catch. He started running with it.
It looked like he waved the arm, though. That's what the officials saw. So
might have just done it and then like, oops.
1st and 10, CB West at their own 22-yard line. Next week back at Falcon Field as the Falcons host North Penn. In other action on the WBCB Sports Network tonight, 7-7 the score between the Penn Ridge Rams and the Neshaminy Redskins.
Got an update on that for you. Tune on in over.
A give to Sapolo, looking for the edge up to the 25. Good open field stop by Sean Beatty at the 27-yard line.
14-7 Penridge with 10:40 to go in the 4th quarter.
That game with big league implications. Penn Ridge undefeated so far, 6-0. Neshaminy's only loss was to a non-league team as they fell to Cheltenham, which is one of the great mysteries right now to me of this, how this season has unfolded. Cheltenham, they're like 1-5.
Hey, the Panthers, man, they roll.
Rolling here is George, looking downfield and hits Mileto in stride to the 30, 25, 20, to the 10, and it's a diving stop by Depew, a touchdown-saving stop. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Bagley with the shoestring tackle. But yeah, what a great throw by George, right on the money. 1st and goal for CB West. Boy, it's been that air attack.
74 yards on the completion. 1st and goal, Bucks at the 3.
And the big explosive plays tonight, 74 yards on that pickup. George gives to Sapolo, and flags come out. Either a hold, I think that might be a face, now it's a hold on CB West.
George tonight is 5 for 6, and he has 184 yards.
And a couple of touchdown passes.
28-yard touchdown pass, 32-yard touchdown pass, and a 72-yard explosion while on the run.
So after the hold, it's a 1st and goal from the Pennsbury 12. And so they'll move it back 1 more yard. It's marked at the 13. We get down near the 2.5-minute mark of quarter number 3. George from the gun, play action, looking into the end zone, and incomplete. Liam Laffin was the intended target.
Another update around the SOL Patriot Division over at CB South. At the end of the 3rd quarter, North Penn Knights 28, CB South Titans 0.
Wow.
Falcons host North Penn next week.
Yeah, the Falcons fell to the Titans last week, 17-3. Defense looking to make a stop. 2nd and goal. George pulls up And he is going to be brought down. No, he gets the pass off. Looked like he was in the grasp. Sam Comer was there, and he did get the pass off. It went out of bounds. And I think they may avoid a grounding.
Pennsbury defense again. Bend, don't break, 72-yard strike, and now you back them up outside the 10, and 3rd and 13 now, and this defense doing what they do best, and that's bending but not breaking.
And this would be a spot where, if I'm Coach Rowan, I'm thinking of at least adding 3 and making it a 3-score game. Right now, timeout taken by CB West. Take their first timeout of the second half. Gives us a moment to let you know that 20 minutes from Langhorne is a better Ford car and truck buying experience at Haldeman Ford, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. More selection, better price on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, and award-winning service. Haldeman Ford, Route 33, Hamilton Township. And Jammer Doors and Windows, a 4th-generation family-owned business since 1920. And they offer Raynor garage doors and openers, the finest garage doors and openers. Jammer also carries entry doors, patio doors, and windows with sales, service, and installation. Jammer does their own install. And check out their showroom at 2850 Brunswick Pike. And their showroom in the Grist Mill in Yardley at 10 North Main Street, open by appointment. Call 215-493-7709. 3rd and goal from the 13. And George looking into the end zone, throws incomplete. McCartney there with some good coverage for the Pennsbury Falcons, intended for Stas. And now Mason Darrows will attempt a field goal from the far hash.
You always take 3 rather than 7 if you're the defense, and Pennsbury doing a good job here. Now, special teams maybe get a little block, maybe look like the Philadelphia Eagles and get a little bit of a block. Field goal here, and maybe keep them off the board after a huge 72-yard play.
A 31-yarder here for Darrows. It's placed down. The kick is low, but it is through the uprights and good.
I mean, Luke Bagley almost blocked that. I don't know where he came from. He shot out of a cannon.
That might have been partially deflected. It didn't seem like it came off the foot of Darrows clean, but he gets it to go. A 31-yard connection, and it's 17-0 CB West with 2:09 to go in the 3rd quarter. Also, you see Nick Mileto, who's one of their versatile players, important on both sides of the football.
Had the big catch, 72 yards.
And he is slow to come off the field.
Both sides getting beaten up tonight.
Very physical game between these two teams. And as you said, Ben, the Falcons avoid the 7. They allow 3. And with 2:09 to go in the 3rd quarter, a lot of time for them to operate. But it hasn't been so much about the time you're operating. It's been about the effectiveness. All right, Darrows with it teed up. Bagley, Beatty. Back to receive for Pennsbury. Sean Beatty bounces off of him, picked up by Bagley, and Bagley with a nice return up across the 25 to the 27. Way to stay alert there by Bagley as it bounced off of Beatty and right into the arms of Bagley.
That's a great heads-up play by Bagley, and right place, right time, just able to scoop that thing up and get a chunk of yardage there. Could have been a lot worse.
So, okay field position for the Falcons. When they've been able to give Jack Arndt a little bit of time, they've done a pretty good job throwing the football tonight. Now some confusion. Kitcheman didn't know where he was at or where he was supposed to be lined up in that formation, and the Falcons take a timeout. So 2:02 to go, third quarter, timeout on the field. And some great support from the Yardley community for Falcon football. Proud to serve the community is Brian Rogers at Yardley Pharmacy, 175 South Main Street in Yardley, a hometown community leader and pharmacist who's going to go out of his way to help his customers, making sure you understand everything about your medications, answer any of your questions, including insurance questions. Yardley Pharmacy, owned by Brian Rogers, and no one is going to give you better service than an owner-operated business like Yardley Pharmacy. Avoid the big chains, stay local with people who are there every day and know you. Yardley Pharmacy offers medical equipment as well at 175 South Main Street in Yardley. They're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 6:30. Saturdays open 9 to 2, and delivery is available. First and 10 from the 27. Arndt in the gun. Steps up into the pocket, and now he's going to tuck it away. Makes a spin move up to the 30, 35 before he is pushed out of bounds and pushed way out of bounds. Right there, that was Finn Riley who forces out the Pennsbury QB, but that's a Falcon first down up to the 40-yard line.
First down on the play for the Falcons. First and 10, ball at their 40.
So they've picked up their fair share of first downs, but just have not been able to sustain a drive tonight. There's Brown and Ciola moving to the far side of the field, and a flag is thrown. McCardle with the handoff. Is that McCardle? That was Cruiser. Cruzen. I think this is going against Pennsbury.
I think you're going to be right.
Set to mark it off. Is that a hold? False start.
Late called false start.
Yeah, they let the play go, but movement for Pennsbury sets them back 5 yards, makes it first and 15 with 1:44 to go, third quarter. I think with both teams kind of trying to throw the football a little bit, this third quarter has moved at a snail's pace, and another flag comes out. It's a delay of game on the Pennsbury Falcons. So it really feels like frustration building on that far sideline tonight. So first and 20. So right there, Falcons pick up a first down. It's, they've done that a handful of times, but just haven't been able to sustain it, in part because of the self-inflicted wounds. There's a nice pass, a hook up to Beatty. And Beatty up to the 45. That's a 15-yard pickup.
And it starts to make you wonder, plays like that where you really start to think, what if this offense looked like this more throughout the year? You know, Jack Arndt in there throwing those quick passes to Beatty, to Randolph, just trying to get the ball into his playmakers' hands quickly and letting them do their things. Who knows what this offense is going to look like? I know this is a ground and pound offense. They want to establish the run, but they haven't had success with this year. And so far, what I've been seeing from the passing offense, there is something there.
And there's a run for Cruzen, and he crosses midfield, picks up a Falcon first down. And right there, it feels like that pass kind of opens up, starts to make some space for the run game.
Yeah, if you get a good air attack, it only helps the run game. And Cruzen picking up a big 6 yards there.
Yeah, sophomore Bryce Cruzen getting his first touches here in this 2025 season. He's in the backfield, gets the handoff, but nowhere to go. Runs into Jeff Kappa, senior team captain. Stuffs the run and has a TFL. Falcons dropped back to their own 49. And that's the end of the third quarter. In the McCaffrey's game of the night, the score remains 14-0 CB West over Pennsbury. And we'll return to War Memorial Field for more high school football on the WBCB Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Fred Herron. As your Bucks County Sheriff, it's my job to uphold the law and keep our community safe. That's what I've done every day for nearly 40 years in law enforcement. From the streets of Bensalem to the county courthouse, my focus has been on making our families feel secure in their homes, neighborhoods, and our schools. Safety requires proven leadership because in this office, experience is everything. This November, vote for our team so we can continue providing dependable leadership for our community. I'm your Sheriff, Fred Herron, and I approve this message.
Proceeding paid for by Herron for Sheriff.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong.
Back here at Central Bucks West High School, Bucks in front of the Falcons, 14-0, 2nd and 14, and the handoff to Randolph. He's to the 44. Picks up 9. And the Falcons looking at a 3rd and 5. As much trouble as this offense has had moving the football, you know, I hesitate, but if we can put some points up here on this drive, could change the complexion here tonight. Got to come up with a big play on 3rd down. The handoff to Cruzen on the counter. He's to the 40 and just shy, I think.
Close.
Yeah, that is very close to a 1st down. Depends on where they mark it. And they're going to say 4th and 1. He got to the 41, needed the 40, the 39. He needed the 38-yard line.
Go for it.
Yeah, I think that's, at this point.
Tush push.
You just give it to Arndt, have him sneak it forward. Everybody in sight. Looks like that might be the approach. And a false start.
You gotta be kidding me.
The Falcons jump. So what looked like a possible tush push, now they got to go back in the playbook. I still think this, you got to go for it here. Although I'm not sure about that. I mean, 10:32 to go. There would be some wisdom in trying to pin them deep. And right now it's going to send Sean Beatty out there, so going for it on a 4th and 6.
It's got to be so frustrating, though, as a player here to.
And now the Falcons take another timeout.
Yep.
But it's got to be so frustrating, and just to be an offensive player with. It seems like every single time they're getting something going, or they get a big play, or they're this close to breaking something open, they have a self-inflicting wound, a penalty, a false start, unnecessary roughness, just one of these penalties that are very, very avoidable.
All right, I'll say this, too, in defense of the players. It feels like there's some indecision on the sideline sometimes, getting those plays in, figuring out where guys are supposed to be. And some of that is player responsibility if you're not lined up in the right formation. But the delay of game calls, the indecision sometimes, I think has kept the Falcons out of any type of rhythm. And I think that's been a challenge for the players on the offensive side of the football this season. All right, now 4th and 6. Arndt pressured, but he gets the pass off and completes it to Ciola for the first down. Up across the 35 to the 33. And that was a big-time play there on 4th down to keep this drive going. And Jack Arndt right there dealing with some guys right in his face. Second connection tonight with Ciola. And this one keeps a critical drive going. Kitcheman here to the near side, and now Ciola and Brown. The give is to Cruzen. And Cruzen bottled up after a short gain. We got 9:25 to go, and you need 3 scores.
Another Falcon down. Oh, and he's up. He was like down and rolling around a little bit, but got some help up. It was big number 75.
Jashawn?
Yeah, Jashawn Sampson.
Down to the 9-minute mark, you got Beatty and Randolph here split to the near side. Randolph in motion and pressure as Arndt tries to step up, and he is sacked on the play. Kappa with another big play, and then a flag comes out. I think that might be unsportsmanlike, yeah, on the celebration there for Kappa.
A little taunting penalty.
I mean, I'm not sure I love that celebration. Didn't seem like it was necessarily a taunting type of thing, but Falcons need a break. They get a break. It's marked all the way up near the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 with 8:44 to go.
4th time Arndt's been sacked tonight.
And then a bunch of times where he had to throw the football away. That grounding one that's almost like a sack. They've been pressured a lot. Randolph in motion, gets that little shovel give, tries to get to the far edge, but ends up being a short pickup, and he's tackled in bounds. Would have helped to get to that sideline, but the clock, no friend for the Falcons here late in the 4th quarter. But all that running from side to side, it ended up being just a 1-yard gain. Again, Randolph in motion. Arndt looking downfield into the end zone. Has Ciola for the touchdown. Wide open. Dante Ciola all alone, and he's into the end zone for a 22-yard touchdown connection. Comes with 7:54 in the 4th quarter, and the Falcons are on the scoreboard 17-6.
Not only did they score points offensively, they did it with a pass, Chris. I was just saying how this offense has looked different with these short passes, getting it open, short yardage, getting into the playmaker's hands, letting him do it. It's going to open things up. And right there, boom, wide open, Dante Ciola in the end zone. Well, a couple weeks ago, Ciola's family told us, let's get him the ball. He got him the ball right there. Big touchdown for these Falcons.
Extra point is good, 17-7, as the Falcons into the end zone for the first time in the last few weeks. Boy, it's another situation where there have been a handful of times tonight where the Falcons have gotten their guys wide open. There was just a complete coverage breakdown there because there wasn't anybody within 10 yards of Ciola, and all he had to do was make sure he stepped into the end zone. So now the Falcon defense got to come up and do their share. Back at home next week as the Falcons take on North Penn. The Pennsbury Football Parents Club would love you to check out the all-new concession stands at the Pennsbury home games, and also check out the all-new Pennsbury apparel. Kramer's Bakery in Yardley, baking things great since 1946. Handmade baked goods made fresh daily on the premises. Kramer's features custom cakes, dessert cakes with real fruit, cheesecakes, Danish pastry, their own donuts, fresh bread and rolls, and more. And they have the dessert trays, perfect for events, corporate events, get-togethers, breakfast trays. All right, looks like we got an onside kick coming. Pereira angling it to the near sideline. You got Parada, Bagley over there for the Pennsbury Falcons. Takes a great leap, but right into the arms of Mason Darrows, the junior kicker there in the right spot, part of the hands team, and secures the football for CB West. Well, the onside kick unsuccessful, and one thing that results in a good spot on the field here for the Bucks. 1st and 10 from their own 45 with just under 8 minutes remaining. George hands to Sapolo, and Sapolo gets blown up by LaRue Madison. Bagley also in there to help him with the tackle. Makes it 2nd and 11. Meanwhile, the clock continues to roll. Unfortunately for the Pennsbury Falcons, they are without any timeouts. And that might have been one of the things that influenced that onside kick decision. George hands off to Mileto. And Mileto banging his way up to about midfield, and a flag comes flying out. And a personal foul called against CB West. So another big break for Pennsbury, as now the Bucks are kind of shooting themselves in the foot. Mark it back to the 34. And makes it 3rd and 20. Yeah, 3rd and 21. Two receivers split wide for George, and another flag comes out.
And it's going to be false start. Little flinch there by CB West offensive lineman. Them going quickly to the line forced Pennsbury to get their defense quickly to the line. It looked like there was some communication between the defensive line, and all that communication and moving around, it caused the CB West player to flinch. Crazy sequence there, because you would think the offensive line is able to lock it in there and lock it down, going to the line quickly like they did. So 3rd and, says 47. Oh, now they changed it to 36. Okay, that's more like it.
Faking the give. It's a quarterback keeper. Right up the middle goes George, and he takes it across midfield. Tackled on the play by Depew, but it's an explosive run up to the 48 of Pennsbury, and that will make it 4th and manageable, and it looks like the Bucks going to leave the offense on the field.
Yeah, if they're able to convert this here, almost a put away 1st down as we're 6 minutes left, time ticking. But you look at that last play there, if it wasn't for that false start, the extra 5 yards, he could have very well gotten that 1st down there since it's 4th and 3. But big spot here for the Pennsbury Falcon defense.
Yeah, and a big night for junior Josh George. A couple of touchdown passes, and right there, a key run for CB West to make this 4th and manageable. And now they take a timeout, and we'll talk it over with 5:47 to go in the 4th quarter. Well, big thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to Hamilton, Haldeman Ford in Hamilton Township, just 20 minutes from Langhorne. A better Ford car and truck buying experience. Haldeman Ford, Route 33 in Hamilton.
We're launching T-shirts, Chris. Here we go. The Buck is going ecstatic over there.
Also, big thanks to DiLorenzo's, the Berg Pizza, 8919 New Falls Road in Levittown. Imagine how wild they'd be going if they were throwing out DiLorenzo's gift cards.
Oh, my goodness.
People would be going nuts. It's great over there. The only original Trenton tomato pie, other great gourmet pizzas like their mustard pie, soups, fresh salads, hot sandwiches, homemade pasta dishes, and we thank them for their steadfast support of Pennsbury Falcon Athletics on WBCB. So they will have Darrow's drop back to punt.
And this is smart. CB West going quickly here, not showing who they were going to put on the field, quickly bringing out the punting unit. Pennsbury still has their starting defense out. They don't have their special unit out. There's going to be a flag now.
Falcons saved by that flag.
Yeah, false
So
start.
a false start on CB West.
Pennsbury is lucky for that.
False start called against the Bucks.
He
So
saw the confusion there. LaRue Madison looking to the sideline, asking, does he go back? Does he send somebody else back? Do we stay in the formation we're at? And
Yeah, now they will get a punt returner dropping back, Sean Beatty. So 5:45 to go, and Darrows sends this one into the night sky. Beatty with it at the 11, up to the 20, 25. A nice punt return for Sean Beatty across the 25. And they'll say he's down at the 28-yard line. So 5:33 to go. Falcons with enough time remaining, but they need 2 scores. So they got to operate quickly, and that is not in the nature.
Yeah, that's not what they're known for.
And need some explosive plays, which have been few and far between this season. There's a throw. Kitcheman on the slant, has it at the 40, and crosses the 40 up to the 43. It's a Falcon first down, and a great connection from Arndt to Kitcheman. And another example of a Pennsbury receiver tonight who had a lot of space. Nice route there by Kitcheman to get open. Almost seemed like kind of a zone look there for the Bucks, allowing him to get wide open. Brown in motion. Arndt drops back, looks to the other side of the field, and it's off of the hand of Randolph. Incomplete. So stops the clock with 5:01 to go. And here Falcons now do seem like they're moving with a little more urgency. The handoff right there to number 49, Bryce Cruzen. And Cruzen is spun down at the 50. Brings up 3rd and 4. Down to 4.5 to go. And Arndt on the slant hits Beatty, and Sean Beatty to the 40. That's a Falcon first down. Another nice job, another nice route, and a good job on the slant to create a nice target for Arndt.
Jack Arndt is slinging it right now. He's 2 for 3 this drive, 9 for 14 on the game, 122 yards. Beatty tonight is 3 for 40.
Down to 4 minutes remaining. Arndt hands off to McCardle. It's a reverse. They get it to Randolph. Randolph to the edge. Has the 30. He's spun down at the 28-yard line. Tackle made by Mileto, but that's enough for a Falcon first down. A fresh set of downs.
Yeah, really good play overall right there. Nice little trickery, little back and forth. Great block there by McCardle. Only thing I would say, though, got to get maybe out of bounds, stop the clock. Had a chance, stopped, stayed in bounds. Clock is still ticking now where you could have got it to stop.
Yeah, it continues to roll down to 3.5. Randolph and Beatty split to the far side. Randolph in motion. Arndt pressured, has a man in his face, gets the pass off, and it's broken up. Incomplete. The play made by Mason Darrows, intended there for Sean Beatty.
What a play by Darrows. It was a perfect ball from Arndt while he was being hit right to Beatty, who was right there. Beatty now limping as he heads off the field, and Darrows just with excellent coverage and tipping that ball away from him.
Yeah, talking about making a play on the ball. A good closeout by the junior.
Yeah, Beatty just gingerly limped off the field.
And now Cruzen heads to the far sideline. They go strong to the near side, and the give to McCardle. He pushes his way to the 25. 4-yard pickup for McCardle.
Under 3. Beatty is back in the game.
So good to see Beatty back out there. Huge. And nearly had a touchdown. Now 3rd and 6. Arndt looking to the near side, targeting Ciola, but a little bit too far for Dante to get to. And brings up 4th and 7. And now they will have Angelo Pereira try to make this a 1-score game. Got a little distance on this one. This will be a 42-yarder for Pereira from the near hash. 2:33 on the clock. Caden Brown, the holder, sets it down. The kick is low and no good. Wide left there for Pereira. And so the Bucks take over with 2:29 to go here in the 4th quarter, and now their objective is just to grind out the remainder of the clock and move to 5-2 on the season and keep the Falcons looking for that first W.
Yeah, tough one there for Pennsbury. They were driving down the field, and then a couple incompletions into the end zone. One overthrow to Ciola on 3rd down, and then it's a long kick for a high school kicker, and it had good distance, but to the left. There's a nice tackle by Sylvester Jones.
Brings down Sapolo on the play. Loss of 2. But for CB West, they just have their eye on the game clock and watching it tick down. I mean, that would have been interesting. You connect on that field goal, you line up for the onside kick. There still was time for the Falcons, but the missed kick now. And it's a quarterback keeper for George. Up to the 23. Picks up 5 yards. And the Falcons with no timeouts left, so can't stop the clock, and we're under the 90-second mark. Next week, back at home, Falcons taking on North Penn, an impressive game tonight for the Knights. They took it to CB South, where they were winning earlier this evening. I also want to get a Neshaminy update on that Penridge game, if we could. As we're down under the 1-minute mark, the handoff there to Sapolo. And that'll bring up 4th and 7. And the Bucks will kick this one away. Is that a final? 14?
I can't say this is the final, but Final score from from CB South, 28-7. North Penn with the win, and yeah, it looks like 14-7 was the final score. Now here's the Neshaminy with the ball. Hold on, YouTube's being slow.
Looks like they have a chance late in the fourth quarter, but Neshaminy trailing Penridge by a touchdown. And looks like
Neshaminy got Penridge got a stop. This is very confusing. All right. No matter what, Penridge is going to have the win 14-7. Looks like they were punting.
Yeah, but they able to get a touchdown win. The Rams over the Redskins tonight. So that drops Neshaminy to 5-2, serves them up their first league loss, and really puts Penridge in the driver's seat when it comes to the SOL league title.
Yeah, Eckert threw it into the end zone with 23 seconds to go, and then Penridge picked it off in the end zone for the victory.
Back to kick, Mason Darrows. He's been impressive tonight with his kickoffs and a field goal connection. Whoa. Falcons trying to block that kick. Takes a nice hop for McCartney, but he goes east to west and doesn't get anything out of the punt return. And it's Falcon football with just 3 seconds remaining.
Parada hurdled his guy on the line, jumped right over him. Wasn't able to get a hand on it, obviously, but impressive.
An impressive athlete, no question.
Very athletic.
So this will be the last play of the night here as the Falcons get into the end zone with a great touchdown throw from Jack Arndt to Dante Ciola. And now maybe an opportunity for some last-second magic. The throw complete to Ciola. He's up to the 40 and brought down at the 39-yard line. That's enough for a Falcon first down, but that brings us to the end of our McCaffrey's game of the night. Falcons fall to CB West 17-7, and now 0-7 on the season. Meanwhile, for the Bucks, they improve to 5-2. All right, so hopefully we get you down there on the field. How about Dante Ciola for our player of the game? Had the touchdown grab and also a number of other connections with Jack Arndt. So we'll have him as our DiLorenzo's, the Berg, and 9th Street on Main in Yardley player of the game. All right, we're going to step aside and return to wrap this one up on the WBCB Sports Network.
Strong starts are essential on the field and in life. That's why PNC created the Grow Up Great program, a $350 million multi-year bilingual initiative that began in 2004 to help prepare children from birth to age 5 for success in school and life. PNC is helping children in our community more than ever grow up great. Learn more at pncgrowupgreat.com. PNC for the achiever in you. PNC Bank, member FDIC. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-02.
Welcome back to Central Bucks High School as the Bucks take care of the Pennsbury Falcons.
17-7.
Fairless Hills landmark Puss in Boots Tavern, supporting Pennsbury for decades. Before or after the game, stop by Puss in Boots. Great food, great times. Watch all your favorite Philly sports teams. Little Red October at the Boot. Their outdoor patio now has TVs. Tuesdays are Taco Tuesdays. Wednesdays, they got the meatloaf platters. Thursdays, Italian days with the meatball sliders, foot-long Italian sausage sandwiches, chicken parm, lunch sandwiches, all at the Boot. Fridays are fun day specials, and Saturdays Puss in Boots with their dollar dogs all day. Sunday, dollar chicken fingers and $6 cheesesteaks. Shuffleboard, pool, cornhole, darts, and jukebox, all at the Boot. Puss in Boots Tavern open 7 days for lunch and dinner. And they're right there at 942 Trenton Road in Fairless Hills. Private catering also available. Thanks to Puss in Boots and all of our sponsors, including Team Toyota, St. Mary Medical Center, McCaffrey's Food Markets. This has been the McCaffrey's game of the night. Falcons fall 17-7. Thanks to Jen Shorn for DA, 1 hour heating and air conditioning, Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCWSA powering portions of tonight's action, along with the Peruzzi Automotive Group, Fred Herron for Sheriff, PNC Bank, Senator Steve Sanacero, Galaxy Landscaping, The Trentonian, 9th Street on Main, Yardley Family Haircutters, and Yardley Pharmacy and Supply. Thanks to Haldeman Ford, BAI Security. Build a game-winning defense around your business with BAI Security Systems. Thanks to PIAA District 1, Kramer's Bakery, Jammer Doors, DiLorenzo's The Berg Pizza, and Ben is down on the field waiting for our DiLorenzo's player of the game. Hopefully he'll be able to have a quick word with Dante Ciola. I mean, the other guy who had an impressive game was Jack Arndt, was pressured, but made that nice pass to Ciola. I mean, you got your guy wide open right there. There's some nerves that start to, like, all of a sudden you're hoping that pass connects because you got the play. It's right there in front of you.
It's a little too wide open for your liking.
Yeah.
And it's, like you said, you start to overthink it. But, just a big touchdown, the first touchdown for a while for this Pennsbury Falcon team. So a much-needed one. It didn't help with the outcome of the game, but it's definitely one that this offense and team much needed, and hopefully get something going for these next couple games and finish off the season strong.
And the way it played out, 17-7 the final, but that touchdown gave them an opportunity, a chance maybe to come back in this game, put Angelo Pereira out there with a chance to make it a one-score game, but those things don't quite come to pass. And so 17-7 our final. Thanks to all of our sponsors: Kramer's, Jammer Doors, DiLorenzo's Pizza, Junior's Car Wash, the Pennsbury Football Parents Club, Puss in Boots Tavern, and Villa Rosa Pizzeria and Italian Restaurant. All right, we'll catch you next week back here on WBCB, but we will be back at home, Falcon Field. Looking forward to that. And the Pennsbury Falcon Parents Club, they would love to see you there, supporting the orange and black, rooting them on, looking for their first win of the year against a tough North Penn Knights team. All right, so we'll be with you for that. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Thanks to the crew, Gus Barber, our video engineer, Justin Lawrence behind the camera. Thanks to Ben Goldstein doing our post-game interview and helping with stats and analysis. One final time here from Doylestown, it was the CB West Bucks 17, the Pennsbury Falcons 7. Thanks for catching some high school football on the WBCB Sports.